It is October 30th and we're back in the stand here at the farm. I took a gamble early on and it did not pay off. Like I said, it's October 30th, it's Devil's Night, day before Halloween, and I went to a stand hoping I could hunt that. Thinking with all this rain that the pickers for the pumpkins wouldn't be out. I knew it was probably a big night for me to pick, but I mean, it's raining right now, and the cornfields and all the fields around here are just, they're soaked. So I was hoping to get away, but I couldn't. They showed up, so I boogied down here. It's 4:44 p.m. We got a northeast wind. We're back in the schoolyard. That's right, I'm sitting in the principal's office, and there's some more deer tracks around here from when I last hunted here a couple days ago. Plus, there's a new scrape up here. I got a chip in my pocket for my camera that we're going to end up taking a look at while we're out here. And hopefully things will be moving. Didn't see anything last time here, but we got this big cornfield in front of us. Scrape right there. A lot of deer tracks. And the wind's absolutely perfect. So we're going to sit tight and see what happens. Well, it's 5:35 and just caught movement in the field next to us, and there was a doe and looked like a little buck behind her chasing her. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. They went the wrong direction, but you never know what could happen this time of year. I just talked to Dave through text, and he's seen two does, so they're moving a little early tonight, and that's real good news because I am cold, so I could use the excitement. Like I said, it was raining earlier while I sat down, and well, my ass just got soaked, so it's the way it goes, but it's hunting and I love it. That was pretty cool. That buck read the script perfectly. I'm not even making this up. I visualized a buck coming out of the corn and cutting that corner just like that. I had him at 35 yards, and he came in between those trees there, and I couldn't just exactly tell what he was. I just knew he was a really, really good buck. I don't know if I would have shot him or not, but he made his way into the corn, and that's where I lost him, and I hit a couple grunts, and he picked his head up and he threw it back, and he was looking, and he just wouldn't commit. But that's pretty good. That's a good buck. That got me excited. My blood's flowing pretty good now, so it's still early. Hopefully he'll come back and get a better look at him, or hey, maybe even a bigger one. Been a pretty exciting evening. Had some chasing going on in the field next door to us. A doe and a small buck was chasing. Then I had that nice buck come out, and over in the field again, that doe popped out. Never did see the buck with her, but I glanced out and a 4-point was sneaking by, and then a little while later the deer were coming across the field into the corn, and I look. I don't see them, but I see two different deer eating in there. It looks like two does. They're definitely moving today. And this is awesome because tomorrow is Halloween and it's my favorite day to hunt. If they're on their feet now, hopefully they'll be on their feet tomorrow. I've always wanted to kill a deer on Halloween.
Things were definitely heating up in the Whitetail Woods as I observed plenty of action over the course of the evening. Unfortunately, nothing that I was looking to wrap a tag around. After a few hours of sleep, I was back at it the next morning, and as luck would have it, I locked eyes on a big 10-point right at first light. I watched this big buck for quite a while, hoping he would make his way towards my stand, offering me the perfect shot. Although this big 10-point kept my interest for quite a while, the morning was pretty uneventful outside of that as I watched this buck walk right out of my life. Now it was time to develop a new game plan as I decided to head to another stand for the evening hunt.
Well, it is October 31st, and we are back in the stand on my favorite day to hunt. It's pretty cloudy out. It's windy. It's about 12 to 15 mile an hour. And then on top of that, it's warm. But I still have high hopes because this morning we saw a monster. And then this morning when we checked the trail camera here at the barn, there was a big one that walked through here last night, real close to first light. So, hoping he comes back, I decided that I'm going to give the other spot a rest at the turnaround, and I'm going to hunt it in the morning. I'm going to get the decoy out there in the morning, and I'm going to sit there all day and see what happens. But for now, we're hoping the big boy comes back right now here. Look like a really, really nice heavy horn 10-point, so we're going to sit tight, and hopefully he comes strolling through, trick-or-treating.
The bucks must have stayed home for trick-or-treat, as I only saw a few does. So I was back to the drawing board as I tried my best to develop a game plan for the morning hunt. One thing's for sure, I was definitely having to work for my biggest buck to date, but I also knew this goal wouldn't come easy. And with time running out before deer camp in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, I was going to need some luck. What happened next took me by complete surprise. As I was watching a great buck off in the distance, I caught movement and watched an absolute monster appear. All I could do now was try to pull it together and hope this buck would close the distance, as this is the kind of buck that every hunter dreams about.
160. Over there. Oh my god. I dropped my ground tube. Oh, he's coming to the field. He's coming to the field. Oh my god. I can't see him anymore. He went behind those tree rows.
It's easy to see why buck fever had me all worked up. I've hunted some great areas in Kansas and Missouri, and have dreamed of shooting a buck like this my whole life. And even though I knew this property held some absolute monsters, never in my wildest dreams had I imagined a bucket list buck like this would appear right before my own eyes in my home state of Michigan. After watching this buck pull a Houdini and disappear, I definitely felt like crying. But hey, on the bright side, this is why I love hunting. Anything can happen, and you never know what's going to happen next.
I'm just covered in deer this morning, but I got this back. I got down, and I got my grunt tube. I climbed up the tree as quick as I could, and quiet as I could. Unfortunately, the stand's really loud, but as soon as I got up here, I sat down. I waited about 5 minutes, and I hit my grunt tube, and out stepped a spike, so nothing got scared away. I don't know where the big boy's at. He shook me up. He shook me up good. But I ended up hitting this. That spike came right into the decoy. The spike's right below me right now, in fact. But I think I might end up sitting all day. I might move over to Kyle's stand. I'm really regretting not sitting there today. It was a west wind, and it would have probably screwed me, but you don't know. Well, it is November 1st, and we are back in the stand. In fact, we're in the exact same stand where that monster buck came out of this morning and was 15 yards from. I'm a little heartbroken because I was going to hunt this stand, but it was very calm, and I didn't think I could get away with it with a west wind unless it was pretty windy. And right now, it's a west wind, and it also is going to be picking up to 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, so hopefully that'll push our scent way on out there and we won't have to worry about getting winded. I am taking a little bit of a gamble doing this, but I'm excited to do it because the rut's slowly starting to pick up, and I think now's the time I'm going to be able to get away with it. Now, I'm also excited for a couple reasons. One, that big buck was here less than 8 hours ago. Generally speaking, I've had good luck when bucks show up, that they're going to show up again later on in the evening. 2, Dave is about 300 yards away, so anything I see, he's going to see. Anything that he sees, I'm going to see. The other reason I'm excited, Kyle's down in Iowa, and he is on some monsters. He passed a 140 that he snort wheezed in this morning. He already passed a 12 point this afternoon, and he's in the thick of it, and I am hunting his stand, so it would be very special to me to be able to get a buck out of his stand of that caliber, that size. That's basically unheard of for Michigan. And if that was Elvis, I'm not 100% it was, but I'm not 100% that it wasn't him either. If it was him, he's alive, he's well, and he's big. And most importantly, he's moving during daylight. So we're going to sit down and we're going to stay tight and we're going to watch this decoy and see what happens.
The last week of October and the first week of November can be a very exciting time to be in the woods. Unfortunately, my excitement didn't end with a red arrow, as I had to head back to work for the next 2 days. And although I couldn't get the job done on this trip, I definitely had some great memories, including locking eyes on a buck that I'll never forget. But time was running out, and I knew that my next visit down to the farm, I'd have to make the most of it.